Hello everybody, this is the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and today we'll be discussing Bleach Chapter 621, The Dark Curtain. And we open up with Taki puking black.
Yeah, but it's basically exploding now because Yuabok has taken control of the Black Hand.
Yep.
So now that basically Utake's like lost Mimihagi, so I don't know if he's gonna die or I don't know what the hell's happening to him because everyone's worried he's collapsed.
Yep.
You know. So let's see here.
And Ukitake does, or no, not Ukitake. Urahara immediately recognizes that seems to be what's happening. It's not that the right arm of Soul King is disappearing; it's that it's being completely absorbed. So I have to wonder how he would recognize that.
There's a lot of questions that you have to ask about how Urahara knows like some of the things he knows.
Yeah.
I just learned to go with it because Urahara is basically Deus Ex Machina in like human form or Shinigami form.
I could if it weren't for the fact that he'd already acknowledged that he did not know what the hell is going on in this case.
Yeah, you're right. He said he didn't know anything about Mimihagi. So how does he know when Mimihagi is being absorbed? I guess because he can still sense Mimihagi. Mm-hmm. So now even though Mimihagi disappeared, the fact that he can still sense his presence kind of implies that it's being absorbed. So I'll take that. I'll take that.
And then the big old shadow starts hitting the barrier around the Seirete.
You say Seirete, but it's actually, if you look at the scenery, it's actually the Vandenreich, isn't it?
Well, isn't it both kind of side by side?
Yeah, it's technically overshadowing the Seirete because the Vandenreich didn't it take over the Seirete in a way?
Like they're kind of hiding in the literal shadow.
Shadow, yeah. So now they switch places basically. Mm-hmm. So it's essentially the Vandenreich.
Yeah.
Except for I think the stuff like the Central 46 is still there though.
Yeah. I mean, it's still there placed though. And they do call it Seirete still in the actual dialogue, but it's getting completely enveloped. See here.
It's just like the architecture kind of is not really Seirete looking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Dark Curtain, you see the Soul Palace basically being like.
Yep. You broke up a little bit.
Already. Yeah, half crumbling down, and then And then one of the elite guards seriously, the costume is just really annoying me because it's so fluffy. It's more about being
so
pretty
fluffy, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't know why. I find the elite guard to be really annoying. I guess because I don't know, something's off with him. I feel first off, I feel like Mr. Thor over there is plagiarizing Thor, and I feel this guy's just like, why do you dress like why? What is with those aesthetics? I mean, I guess Kubo wanted to show that he's obviously been empowered, but it's just kind of annoying, you know.
I just figured it's just going for a unique look, and
not quite still annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yuak's cloak is billowing. It's getting all smoky.
And little Mimihagi babies are coming out, which is kind of disturbing. So I guess Yuabok is giving birth.
I don't know, they're kind of cute in a weird little freaky eye monster way.
Okay, is this like a religious type of like inference or something a reference or something like that?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Because I have no fucking idea what's going on. Is this supposed to be like when Jesus Christ or God like gives birth to like a million eyeballs or something?
Yep.
Because
of course, while these things are kind of running around and fleeing, it does kind of give us something that might shed some new light on the whole daddy issue thing I've been complaining about here. Like we got the like I said, the little black eye babies are running about, and then Haschwald is calm down. This is a torrent of the Soul King's power. The Soul King's power is at last free of the seals which are bound on him by the Shinigami, and it is as of such enormity that the Soul King cannot contain it within his body. As such, a little escape but to escape in powerful streams now. It is a notated to your lot, for the Soul King's enemies are only the Shinigami.
So you're saying that even up to now, the Yuabok was still under some type of seal. This is ridiculous. He's not that powerful.
No, not Yuak, the Soul King.
Oh well, I mean isn't he the Soul King now though?
No,
technically.
No.
Oh,
at least not my. That's not my understanding. Otherwise, they'd be calling him His Majesty.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you're right.
Like they're actually talking about the actual crystallized, amputated Soul King.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's because the seal. Because I was thinking to myself, like, in a way, you could argue that Yuabok has taken the place of the Soul King.
Yeah, I don't know if we've gotten quite that far yet. At least that's what he's trying or planning to do.
Okay, yeah. But he also.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, because he says the Soul King's enemies are the Shinigami now, so it's kind of like it's kind of like changing the Soul King's allegiance in a way by Yuabok's influence.
That's possible. The way I took it was that his enemies had always been the Shinigami or Soul Reapers in some way. Like they had bound him in place to be the linchpin of the universe, and I guess he hated them for. Like it kind of, I took it that way because it kind of put a different spin on Ewoks like attacking him and killing him thing. Like maybe this whole time it was more of a trying to release him kind of thing, or the reason you couldn't forgive his existence was because of how he was made that way.
Yeah, it's true because I gotta wonder who the hell wants to be like, who the hell wants to be in the position of the Soul King? You know,
Yeah.
No arms, legs, completely like not motionless. Not we don't. The problem is we don't know, so I'm just gonna leave it there. We do know that Yokbok hates his dad, but we don't know why his dad. We do know that his dad has a lot of power, but we don't know why his dad's like there.
And at this point, I am taking the whole thing as his father's son literally, just because he actually calls himself your own child during the last chapter.
I'll say this though, Mimi Hagi. Isn't that supposed to be like a representation of the Soul King? If his enemy was the Shinigami, why did he help Ikitake survive? And because for the vessel? And why did he try to go against you? You know what I'm saying? Like it's
true. So maybe you have a point there. Maybe there is something about Ewok's influence that's getting in touch here.
Yeah, because not to mention Mimi Hagi tried to help this. I mean, obviously tried to help the Soul King, not die basically.
Right. But then again, the Mimi Hagi has mostly been fulfilling bargains. So maybe as long as it's a case of, as long as you keep your side of the bargain, he keeps his.
Yeah, but why would you make a bargain with the enemy?
Bargain's a bargain.
It's still the enemy, right?
People make deals with the devil all the time in stories, and usually he's the enemy. But still, I do see your point. Just like I said, that one might be something to put on the back burner for now, at least until we see where it's going.
Then we can complain about the resolution. Easily done out of desperation. Yeah.
And then, but then once we have the answer, we can complain about the resolution.
Yeah, because I'm just like thinking to myself, like, we're making a deal with the devil is kind of like out of desperation. Is Mimi Hagi desperate to get a vessel to survive? Because it seems like he existed as without a body for a while. So it's true. Why did he help Ikitake? Was it just simply because he needed a vessel for some? Like, why did he need the vessel? Like, what reason do you think that he would need it for? Because he did survive for a while without it. But anyway,
or maybe the parts of the Soul King have their own unique intelligence or something. It's hard to say.
Well, yeah, I think that is what is implied. But the problem is we don't know what each of their goals are. Do they have different goals? What are they trying to do?
Right. Anyway, we come back to the Soul Society. Apparently, the barrier around there has a hole in it. That's going to make them a big old target for the enemy. So they're getting ready to, and prompting Soifan to bring out her Bankai and just quote and try to obliterate everything. But she's not going
to succeed. If you use the Bankai, it means you don't succeed at this point.
Exactly. I mean, Uemeda is doing better than she is with his big old wrecking ball.
That's pretty sad. She basically has the power of a nuke, doesn't she?
Basically.
Of course, if she launches it at this range, everyone pretty much dies. So
yeah, and then everyone else starts releasing their swords. Actually, I kind of find it interesting that Yumi Chika seems to be releasing his sword as well, because doesn't he keep his a secret?
Well, he gives a half release. Is he actually saying the whole name now?
Well, he's saying Fujiku Kajaku, so I don't know if I don't think that's probably the same one. So you might be right about.
He used to get like stop halfway in terms of the name, so that it would only release in terms of the shape, but it wouldn't release the ability itself. I will say this though, at this point with character development, he should be showing it. I mean, Ikaru got bitched out by Iba from the 7th Division Lieutenant for basically not showing his Bankai because basically he was screwing himself over, and I think Ikaku learned from that, which is why he doesn't. I think he's actually showing his Bankai now. But I think it's kind of like it's annoying because at this point, especially with Kenpachi, it's shown that this is not the time to be, oh, well, I'm not going to show my ability. No, now's the time to show your ability because now's the time you're going to need it. Okay?
Yeah.
If we're still going over on that, because we've already done that with Kenpachi, we've done that with Ikaku, and showing that they're wrong, I think with Yumi Chaka, I think it should be like one of those off-screen character development moments, and I really think it's a waste of time if he has to go through one now.
Yeah. Actually, looking at this right now, it looks like the see, I'm trying to see here. It looks like the full name is something more like Ruiiro Kujaku, like it means like Azure Peacock, but he's using the nickname still. So I don't know. Maybe he's just holding. I'm not sure if what he's doing just yet, or if maybe just doing it out of habit even. But I don't know.
See, the problem is its repetitiveness. It's done twice already. Like it's already been done with Yumi Chaka, but it's in terms of character development for getting over that type of mentality. It's already been done twice. I don't want it to be done again. Of
course, at the same time, like the other one's not still only using his Shikai as well because it's only the staff right now.
Yeah, but it's because I don't think he needs it right now. I mean, remember that his Bankai is in like it's one of those issues where it's actually weak at first.
Yeah.
And it has to slowly build up. I mean,
so he doesn't have time to do it.
And same thing with what the hell's his name? 69 guy. What the hell's
Shuhei?
Shuhei. Well, I don't know. I can't believe I forgot his name. I usually don't do that, but yeah, he has a Bankai, but he's not using it. I think they're all using the Shikai just simply for this conserving the energy. And this is small. This is supposedly small fry, so I get it. It's just that with Yumi Chaka, it's not about using a Bankai. It's just using his Shikai, which is ridiculous at this point because you need your Shikai definitely,
Yeah.
I can't forgot Shuhei's name. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't think Shuhei has a Bankai.
No, he does. He does. He definitely does. It was damn it. I keep forgetting.
I got the Bleach wiki up in front of me. It said Bankai.
Kensei, there you go. No, he has a Bankai. Kensei said he had a Bankai, and he was supposed to show it, but he kept getting like mind control. He got one hit. It was just like an embarrassment. That's why. And he definitely has a Bankai. I will confirm that for you. That's the whole thing with him and Kensei. Kensei's like, show me your Bankai, So.
Okay, yeah, it does say here like after criticizing for being defeated without displaying the results of his Bankai training. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Byakuya just uses his Senbon Sakura and tries to wash them all away. Doesn't really work.
Yeah, babies don't like baths.
Yeah.
Of course, that brings us to how this chapter's about to conclude, because suddenly everything seems to be getting like crushed as if like under gravity.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I do agree with.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Whoever says this, I agree. It is pathetic that they're having issues with these little babies. Like, I mean, really, everyone's using the Shikais, and it's not working. You're captain and lieutenant levels, and and so far couldn't even use a Bankai. This is ridiculous, But yeah, you're right.
No one can use their Bankai.
Well, no. Soifon did
more than once.
Oh yeah.
No one can successfully use their Bankai more than once.
Yeah, true. And then this person says, nothing good will come from fluttering your swords about. It can't be that's what Rukia says. Yep. And who is it? It's
Aizen. Da, 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 da.
And he says that you can just crush them using your Ryatsu.
In one fell swoop.
And he's not even he's just still sitting on that chair. And he's still bound to it, basically. So basically, he's crushing them without moving. This is so. I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of like this last panel just because finally now he's come out of the shadows, literally.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna actually at least do. If he's gonna coach these guys, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's doing right now. He's coaching them.
Sitting there on his big old throne, looking all badass.
Yeah, I know. It's like of course he's just sitting on a throne. I mean, it's obviously like a prison chair, but it still looks like a throne. In fact, it doesn't it kind of remind you of his throne from Hueco Mundo?
Don't remember what it looked like right offhand, but I wouldn't. But I would buy it.
I mean, yeah, he looks very kingly in this type, very royal in this type of a panel. Yep. Ah, man, I'm not gonna lie though. I kind of want Aizen back just because I liked Aizen better than I did Yua Bach.
Yeah, I will anticipate and dread when they come face to face.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hilarious to read, but after you read it, you're like, oh wow, nothing happened. They just talked for a long time. Yeah. And again, his speech bubble is even bigger than his face. That's hilarious. All right.
Okay. And with that, we come to the end of this chapter. Aizen's pretty much there being a badass. He just chillaxing like a baller. Do you remember where that's from?
Chill like a baller?
Yeah. I was! But then these guys came in and, on your knees! And I said, but I'm not your mother last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. I was thinking there again. It took me a while. Obviously, now. Man.
Obviously, you weren't eating brain food earlier.
Man, Aizen. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this is very mixed. I mean, I was annoyed by Aizen, but at the same time, after going through the whole entire Quincy thing, I kind of missed it. Because at least back then, it wasn't as really you could argue that the Quincy's have made a lot more, emotional, impact and a lot more dread and a lot more suspense than the Hueco Mundo arc. But at the same time, you just have to like facepalm so much about how these guys are just like, it's just so tropey. Like, how these guys just beat everyone who's used Bankai more than once. How they just like, how it's like, oh, you have to, you can like chop their head off, but somehow they just come back up. It's like, come on, this is ridiculous. If they beat you tactically, it's tropey
and not in the good way.
Yeah.
Because you can pull off these exact same things, and if you do it well, people will enjoy it, or just at least won't care. Because if you can do that sort of stuff well.
Yeah, it's just that Quincy arc kind of emphasizes how badly he's been using these tropes,
Right.
And there's all this kind of like suspense and all this drama that it's just making everything more obvious. Well, during the Hueco Mundo, it was really bad too, but you were used to it. You kind of knew what was coming, and during the fights, it was kind of fair game. I mean, the Kyoraku versus Stark was kind of like, it wasn't one of those stupid like, oh my gosh, he's, it wasn't as like switching as it was in terms of, they weren't alternating in terms of who was dominating, because I don't know, it was just really annoying, yeah, it's true. We all know that the highlight of this chapter, and it wasn't Aizen, it's another manga. That's a reference to the fact that there's a Naruto epilogue story that's like, mentioned after this chapter, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the little blurb about it at the end there. You're right. Yeah, I think there's another one to hear about that. It's like they're talking about how Bleach's quality has dropped off, and at one point, wait, Bleach has quality? I thought we all agreed we were reading it because we were secretly masochist.
That's what I said, I think.
And it's like, and it's like Bleach quality in the same sentence. Okay, thanks, bye.
I know, it's just, I mean, a lot of people would argue that the Van Ryck arc is better than the Hueco Mundo arc. Mm-hmm. I can see why they're saying that, but at the same time, I just kind of, at this point, I'm a lot more tired in a way, a lot more pessimistic. So even if this arc is quote unquote written better, first off, it's still not as good as the Soul Society arc, and it won't ever be, in my opinion.
It becomes too little, too late.
Yeah, it's too late. So it's now just like, now I'm seeing everything because now it's instead of being done 4 times, it's now been done 8 times. So it's even more obvious. Yeah. So that's why Aizen's appearance reminds me of a time when I wasn't as annoyed as I was now. So that's why I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, awesome, Aizen's back, because now it actually gets some nostalgia from 5 years ago when Bleach was still bad, just wasn't as annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's less bad than it is now.
I wouldn't even say less. Well, I wouldn't even say less bad. I would just say less annoying, because again, I see where people can say that the Van Ryck arc is better. Even if it's better, I'm a lot more tired at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot more pessimistic, and now any of the quote unquote better writing won't affect me as it would have had it been done 4 or 5 years ago. So, if you took this arc and you maybe put it in front of the Hueco Mundo arc, maybe I might like it a lot better. It's too late. Again, as you said, it's too late to kind of help itself. So unless it dramatically gets better, even just a little bit, it still won't help.
Right. It's because like you've been saying, like it's just the same thing, kind of in different packaging. And again, you can do that. I mean, you can if you know how you can pull that off, but this one's not doing it.
Basically, it's in better packaging, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still the same package. I mean, it's still the same stuff in the package. So in the end, you're already tired by that. So it doesn't matter what's in there unless it's actually really good. So yeah, which is, I think, something that Kubo kind of did himself. It's basically Kubo's fault. So
he's the author, so who else are you going to blame?
Yeah, editor. Why did he let the shit pass, or she, or who?
Well, I think at this point it just has momentum.
They lost all the money in terms of sales. I mean, the editor could have easily said, cut it off, But I guess they tried to, they tried their luck, and they did get some money back in terms of the Van Ryck arc.
Yeah, and there actually is a trope about this sort of thing. It's called protection from editors, where it's like, authors or creators' name gets so big that they can pretty much do what they want without having to worry about editors trying to stomp them down, which ends up resulting in stuff like this.
Yeah, this is pretty much, well, this is what all the big three can do. Naruto was also at fault. One Piece hasn't been in this situation yet, or at least not in this bad. It might be, and if it is,
he may have had the occasional arc where you felt that, but not on like the grand scale.
But if it was, it would also have that. It could also pull it off. So because One Piece is basically the life and soul of Shonen Jump. And I'll say this though, what Oda does get reprieve of is that how he gets sick a lot. He actually got them. Right, he gets a lot more breaks because he gets overworked all the time,
right.
And they give him those breaks because they know that he's their life and soul.
Right.
If he was a novice, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they just yanked him at some point.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's one of their strongest runners right now. So plus he usually at least makes the breaks worth it afterwards. At least as far as the quality of the content goes.
I'll tell you this: if Double Arts had Kubo's name or any of the big three's name behind it, it'd still be running to this day.
Yep.
Double Arts.
Yeah, that was just too good to last.
That was sad. What happened? I was so shocked. I was shocked when I saw that it was ending.
I know, barely even got it right in the middle of an arc too. I think is what it was.
It was, and it barely got started. It was only in chapter like 20. It barely got started. And the Double Arts thing, like the style of fighting, was just introduced like the chapter before. It's like it wasn't even fair, But whatever.
All right. Well, at this point, like I said, that's covering our chapter review of Bleach here, chapter 621. Was there anything else you wanted to add to it before we wrap up?
Why can't Kubo write better?
Well, besides the usual.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah, at this point, like I said, we'll just for some of this stuff, I'm going to reserve judgment, at least on the whole Black Eyed Peas baby thing going on we have going, but. But well, like I said, I want to reserve judgment just because it looks like we are getting like a different turn of the whole daddy issue Soul King thing. So I do want to see how that turns out. I'm curious about that. See if my initial impression on there was in error.
Maybe you were boss like, I want my honor back.
Honor, but he doesn't have a scar.
Maybe it's not a visible scar,
It doesn't work as well without a face scar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe that's why he has a beard. Cover it.
There you go. Or like it's over his mustache.
Probably.
Anyway, like I said, that'll be our chapter 620, Bleach 621. Stay tuned for One Piece 781. Take us away.
Bye.